Welcome back to Counterpoint. We are doing our current events panel. It's just you and me, Michelle. But wow, what a panel we have! We're in the aftermath of the Trudeau resignation. What does that mean for the country? What does it mean for the Liberal Party? Let's switch gears and talk about that for a moment. So the Liberal Party brand, at least federally, but even provincially to some degree, because a lot of the provincial counterparts are sort of distancing themselves through their respective provincial elections and their counterparts. Is there any likability left for the Liberal Party brand? Sure, they can get rid of Trudeau, or he has now resigned. But what is the fallout to the Liberal Party brand from his leadership, especially in the last few years?
Oh, I think it's going to take a hit, but like we've seen this happen before in Canadian politics. It's happened to after Kim Campbell. It's happened with Michael Ignatieff. You know how it's happened with our own in Ontario, Kathleen Wynne. I mean, it's happened. I mean, at the end of the day, parties still bounce back. They'll always bounce back because it's a large brand, and at the end of the day, new leadership always brings a new resurgence, people who share some certain values that are the same. Although I will say this, in this day and age now, with social media and the way the news is being printed, because nowadays it's not even news anymore. It's whatever anybody wants to say. It's like misinformation, disinformation. You don't know what's real or not. People get their news from Facebook and they think it's news, but it's not. And so now it makes it a little different. Because now we have a blending of all the parties. Like it's very hard to differentiate parties now. They've all gone
Mm.
left.
Yeah, definitely
Um,
the Overton window has shifted.
yeah, like we don't really have like a left, middle, and right anymore. They've all gone to the left because this is what the people want. And so now it's just about certain values that they hold. And I think at the end of the day, it really is dependent on the leader. And people always want change. That's just the way it works.
Yeah, after almost 10 years, people have
Yeah.
voter fatigue. Um, what about the NDP? So the NDP are in a real pickle here because they did not contribute to downing Trudeau. In fact, one of their MPs said that he was not going to play the conservative game to bring Trudeau down. We've had the case where their leader, Jagmeet Singh, has basically propped out the Trudeau government for quite some time. What does this mean for the future of the NDP?
I think the NDP are going to take a major hit, because at the end of the day, people wanted the Liberals out, and it's because of the NDP that they stayed in. And to be frank, I don't think a lot of people really like the deal that they made. They didn't get a lot, for what they promised they were going to get to make this deal. So really, realistically, I think they're going to be hit really hard. But that's the consequence you do. That's the cost of doing business, and hopefully that leader will also be pushed out because they'll realize that this one didn't broker good deals.
And if it
And if the NDP want to survive or do anything like Jack Layton did, they're just going to have to get a new leader.
Well, we could have a couple leaderships, I suppose. Well, let's talk about the Conservatives. So, polling has them in crazy majority territory, unprecedented almost. The Liberal Party looks like it's going to be decimated. The NDP probably the same. We do
Yep.
have a bit of a surge with the Bloc in Quebec and with their provincial counterpart. Is Pierre Poilievre, is he headed for this grandiose majority? Like, will he get anything done? He has the mandate. If the election were today, he would have a huge mandate.
Yeah, I think he can get a lot of things done. Whether he'll be effective is a different story. Because it takes MPs and it takes people with experience. And at the end, a lot of people will have majorities when they win their election, and they will also feel confident. So how it's going to play out may be a little difficult because everyone's going to want an important post. So is he going to make a fat cabinet or is he going to make it lean? And to be frank, it should be lean, given all the promises he said to the people that, the Conservatives are here to help you to buy affordable homes and get your groceries. So having a fat cabinet won't be good. But again, he has to deal with the egos of many of the elected MPs who will get elected. And regardless if it's a majority or not, the Conservatives are likely to win.
Right. And there's still a lot of several months between now and then. And anything can happen. That's the nature of politics. Anything can happen. And every day could be the day.
Well, we saw it with Patrick Brown. I mean, everyone thought he was going to be Premier of Ontario, and then
Boom.
kaboom. I
Right.
mean, he wasn't. So
Anything can happen. Really quick, where does Trudeau go from here? Yes, we understand he'll be interim leader, but where does he go professionally?
oh, honestly,
Just
he's
out
just gonna
with
have
it.
to get He's just going to have to get one of his friends to hire him, because I don't know many people that will. To be frank, he doesn't have much street cred anymore. So really, it's just going to have to be one of these businesses that profited from Trudeau, and they're just going to want his expertise in council, or he gets a post at the UN.
Or a book deal. There's always a book deal to be had, isn't there? After every politician's demise, always a book deal. Anyhow,
Yes,
we're going to
I
continue this discussion in just a few moments.